I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all. And I was really able to do some really deep healing.
Mm-hmm.
It was really a joy to just help heal somebody.
Yeah.
And I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life.
Clearly what happened.
And I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship.
All right, guys, so Will Smith is back, and he dropped an interview in which he answered some questions about the Chris Rock situation. You guys remember the situation that happened a few months ago in which Will Smith shocked the world by slapping Chris Rock on stage at the Oscars? Something that set the internet and the blogosphere ablaze, okay? Everybody was talking about that incident as it is something that we've never seen before, okay? A famous actor go on stage and slap another famous actor in front of the world at the Oscars. And there were all types of takes and takeaways from what happened that day, as some people were defending the indefensible, right? They were saying that Will Smith had the right to go on stage and slap Chris Rock because he was defending his wife. He was defending his wife from mean jokes, right? Jokes about her having alopecia and being bald, which again is weird because I feel like Jada's been bald all her life. But hey, all of a sudden saying that and recognizing that out loud is a crime that should result in you being slapped on stage, right? That is what some people think. But Will Smith is issuing an apology in this video. And one of the reasons why I'm doing this video is because I talk a lot about accountability, okay, and how we are lacking accountability in society, right? There are certain groups of people that we don't want to hold accountable because apparently accountability is racist, sexist, homophobic, right? You guys all know the group of individuals in this society that nobody wants to hold accountable for their actions. So Will Smith here is actually going to give an example of what accountability looks like and how you're supposed to handle yourself when you make a mistake, especially as a man, because I truly believe that is the only way to grow as an individual is to take accountability and responsibility when you make mistakes. So I think it's important to do a video about this because Will Smith here is setting a good example for how to be accountable. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point. It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out.
Yeah, I don't blame Chris Rock, right? If another man slapped me at the Oscars on the world stage, I don't think I would be able to talk to that guy for a while. But he's probably weighing his legal options. And eventually, I think Chris Rock should talk to Will Smith and they should reconcile. I don't necessarily know about being friends again, but who knows, right? I'm just saying. I don't blame Chris Rock for taking his time before he talks to Will Smith, especially considering the embarrassment that he went through, again, being slapped by another man on the world stage.
So I will say to you, Chris, I apologize to you. My behavior was unacceptable, and I'm here whenever you're ready to talk. I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I saw an interview that Chris's mother did, and you know, that was one of the things about that moment. I just didn't realize, and you know, I wasn't thinking, but how many people got hurt in that moment. So I want to apologize to Chris's mother. I want to apologize to Chris's family, specifically Tony Rock. You know, we had a great relationship. You know, Tony Rock was my man. And this is probably irreparable.
Yeah, if you guys don't remember it, Tony Rock was ready to scrap, right? He claimed he was ready to scrap with Will Smith over him slapping his brother.
And if you walk your ass up here, you ain't nominated for shit but these motherfucking hands. Oh, we on Pac the rest of the year. Every time you see me do a show, Pac. I ain't want to start the show like that. You gonna hit my motherfucking brother? Cause your gave you a side eye?
I spent the last 3 months replaying and understanding the nuances and the complexities of what happened in that moment. And I'm not going to try to unpack all of that right now, but I can say to all of you, there is no part of me that thinks that was the right way to behave in that moment.
Accountability. This is what I'm talking about. Accountability. We don't see too much of this in our society where people give an apology and there's no ifs, ands, and buts. There's no, but this, but no. It's just, I'm wrong. I know I was wrong. There's no excuses for being wrong. I take full responsibility and accountability for my actions. That is what this looks like, okay?
There's no part of me that thinks that's the optimal way to handle a feeling of disrespect or insults. After Jada rolled her eyes, did she tell you to do something? No. It's like, I made a choice on my own, from my own experiences, from my history with Chris. Jada had nothing to do with it.
Okay, now this cap right here, but it's necessary cap, okay? And the reason why it's necessary cap is because he is taking the route of, well, I'm going to take responsibility for everything. My wife, had nothing to do with it, even though we know his wife had something to do with it. But he can't actually come out and say that on camera, right? He can't say that on camera, okay? And part of this is him, again, trying to play the PR game here and not come out here and blame his wife. But also part of it is that he's a simp, okay? And the reason why he's in this position is because he acted emotionally based off the reaction from his wife, okay? He didn't think, okay? He reacted instead of responding, right? Responding is better than reacting, okay? Reacting is short term. Responding is a more long-term thing, okay? And the problem here is that he's with a woman that really doesn't want to be with him.
I really didn't want to get married, but...
We only got married because Gammy was crying.
Well, Gammy, this is what happened. It was almost as if Gammy was like, you have to get married. So let's talk about the wedding. I was like, I never wanted to be married.
I don't remember that. I remember feeling very strongly and wanting you guys to be married. I do remember that.
Yes.
But I don't remember your rejection of the idea of marriage. I remember the rejection of the idea of a wedding.
I didn't want a wedding either.
She didn't want it,
I was like, I don't want to get married. And now Gammy done gone to Will crying about, I don't want to have a wedding. And now I'm being forced to have a wedding. When really, I just wanted it to be the two of us on a mountain, because I was like, this is serious business.
Yeah, wedding was horrible.
And because of that, he feels the need to always have to do more to prove himself to her that he is the right man for her, that he's enough for her, okay? And we've seen how Jada Pinkett Smith has responded and treated this man throughout the years. And again, it's just a very, very, very sad situation, to say the least.
Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me
Oh my goodness.
if you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Don't. No, because she don't just.
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start rolling. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
Please watch us stare at the red table because she's helped us a lot. Can't you tell?
Yeah, so clearly no respect for him as a man, as a husband, as a breadwinner, any of that, right? She was like, look, I'll ruin your career because my red table talk is more important than your acting career, which has basically been the only reason that Jada Pinkett Smith is even relevant. But we know from other embarrassing things that, again, she never wanted to be with him. She wanted to be with Tupac, right? To the point where even their daughter wrote a letter saying that she wishes that Tupac was still alive so that her mother could be happy. Okay, this is the same woman that went and slept with their son's friend, right? August Asina, right? Slept with an R&B singer. Okay, and this man, Will Smith, went through a humiliation ritual in which he basically sat there and listened to how his wife talked about how sexually satisfied she was by another man. And he didn't break that off. He didn't decided, hey, you know what? I deserve better. This is what it leads to. Because he's trying to prove himself. And that is what led him, in my opinion, to act emotionally and slap Chris Rock on stage, throwing his whole career down the drain over a woman that doesn't really love him. Okay? This is why it's so important that, hey, you got to choose your life partner wisely, right? Don't be a second option, right? Make sure that hey, you're not always trying to prove yourself, okay? So, look, I understand why he's not throwing her in the bus. I get it. But if this is how he really feels, then there's still some issues here. But I get it, trying to take full accountability and not blame her, because ultimately, in the day, she's a woman. He's a man. He has to resist the temptation of acting out of emotion because of her. So, ultimately, he is right, that he has to take responsibility for it, but he still needs to deal with that situation, okay? That's a situation he still needs to deal with.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm going to say sorry to my kids and my family for the heat that I brought on all of us. To all my fellow nominees, this is a community. It's like I won because you voted for me. And it really breaks my heart to have stolen and tarnished your moment. I can still see Questlove's eyes. It happened on Questlove's award. And, it's like I'm sorry really isn't sufficient. What would you say to the people who looked up to you before the slap, or people who expressed that you let them down? So there's two things. One, disappointing people is my central trauma. I hate when I let people down. So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me. And the work I'm trying to do is I am deeply remorseful. And I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself, right? I'm human. And I made a mistake. And I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit. So I would say to those people, I know it was confusing. I know it was shocking. But I promise you, I am deeply devoted and committed to putting light and love and joy into the world. And,
So, look, ultimately, at the end of the day, this is important because I think that it is a solid example of what accountability looks like. And especially that last part in the sense that he talked about the people that look up to him. Okay, when you are in the corporate world, okay, accountability is important because you're going to be working in teams with people more than likely. It's not just going to be you. You're going to be working with other people. Things are going to happen. Somebody's going to mess up. But leaders in that situation take responsibility for the mistake rather than trying to point the finger, okay? Those who point the finger are the ones that, are not really leaders, okay? The ones that take accountability and to say, hey, you know what? It's my fault. I messed up. Let's get better. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to fix it. Those are the people that end up growing and end up really, getting the promotion and becoming leaders within the organization one day, right? And that's one of the reasons why I did this video is because I think that it has real world implications for people in regards to how you should handle yourself when you make a mistake, right? Whether that's on the job, whether it's in your personal life, your married life, in public or whatever, accountability is important because you do have people looking up to you, especially if you see yourself as some type of leader, right? And leaders take accountability and responsibility. When something goes wrong, hey, it's the leader's fault, right? Even if it's not really their fault, they say, no, it's my fault, right? I mean, that's something that I learned playing football growing up. I played football all my life. And, the team captains, right, the quarterback, whoever, even if a wide receiver dropped the ball and that results in an interception, the quarterback says, that's on me. I should have threw a more catchable ball, even if it was perfect, right? Well, the reason why is because, again, that's what leadership looks like, That's what accountability looks like. And that's so important, man. And I, again, commend Will Smith for coming out here and doing this. He's probably doing it because he got to save his career. But I do think it's sincere because he didn't want to apologize at first. And he waited, 3 or 4 months to actually issue this apology, which means that he probably thought about it long and hard. And that, this is truly how he feels. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.